Hi guys, Naya here. This time I'm going one up on difficulty to Gemini hard, small with 6 players. Let's see how can we fare with this. Who do we pick? Let's pick Kavithan Protectorate. I might not go for a specific victory, and go with the scientists. As spacecraft, I'm going to choose retrograde thrusters for additional visibility. As cargo, I'm going to go with the pioneering technology. This will give me a head start. Maybe not a head start over the advanced AI. And I would like to be not very sea heavy. So a Protean world, but let's risk a bit. Let's say this one, Lush Protean World Shop 589D, and start. The Kavithan Protectorate is a very strange faction, very much due to the leader being very esoteric and specific. Kavitha Thakur's esoteric spiritual sutras and aphorisms have been interpreted by various theologians to have extremely diverse meanings. Some posit that her writings are ultimately Naga-unic in nature, and that her references to the Lord of the Cosmos, the Third Mother, and the universal divinity obscure the primacy of what she varying refers to as the demon of nihility, or simply the void. While Kavita's father supposedly received prophetic visions, it is surmised that Kavita's attempts to commune with the same spirit were met with what could only be described as sinister nothingness. And yet she is the leader of the Kavithan Protectorate. And we got the retrograde thrusters so that we can see a lot of our starting position and the place where I'm going to settle all my starting cities. I will not be expanding in a specific direction, but rather in a circular fashion. Let's check our starting position. There is some copper, fungus, these might be useful, and a single tile of floodplains on the river. These tiles will be improved by plantations. That might be a good strategy. But if I land on them, I will simply lose them. There is some place for another pair of plantations. Some mines, pair of plantations over here in the desert. Overall, there is quite a lot of desert around over here, and this side is... I might just go with one aquatic city later, but my first city I will settle close to these food heavy tiles. I don't care about having a river directly under my capital. I think this desert hill is the best place to settle. Let's go. And I see this place is marsh that will be improved into grassland and produce much more food, which means we have finished pioneering and can start production of trade depots or colonists as soon as our main city has grown to size 2. However, my first build will be... I will go for agricultural development until I get the second. Not really, there isn't much in terms of production yet, but I will build some mines and get some buildings. But having a lot of food, and especially food surplus, will be good for building colonists, hard building colonists, that is. So let's just build a worker so that we can improve all these plantation tiles very quick. There is only, I believe, only one technology that improves plantations, and that is photosystems. Which means we will be going to the north side, perhaps the Akorokamui as well, the genetics one, which means probably going towards harmony. And our first technology will be, of course, chemistry, in order to get laboratory recycler and perhaps petroleum later. As we have increased vision over our starting area, we have knowledge of 4 resource spots already. Quickly go and collect them. Culture, that is great. Got a pristine speech compression computer and get a first virtue. I will go for prosperity. We are seeking prosperous settlement first. This resource spot had 23 research, which will speed our game significantly. There is a progenitor ruin. I might be interested in that, but Since the outcome is usually since the outcome is usually just affinity level, that might not be the best first idea. Alright, we finished the gift from home quest for 15 science and a free collector. Anyway, I will go and explore this progenitor ruin as we are in pursuit of wisdom and launch this solar collector directly over our capital. The expedition will take 5 turns, and since this is miasma, our explorer will take some damage, but there's our first opponent. When we meet him, we will offer him a good nice cup of tea. Or chai, may I say. It depends on whether we are from the north or south of India. Right, there is the Marvel quest, Strength and Decay. A nearby colony has discovered the remains of an enormous creature on the planet's surface. I have not finished this Marvel quest yet, so I wonder what it is about. Here we go. Expedition. We got bioengineering, single pass geometry. Truly two-dimensional matter. Where is bioengineering? Alright, bioengineering over here for... Right, Farbase 1 is there. As you can see, Mandira is starting to have problems growing. Our next research should be one of these basic ones. Engineering might be nice for titanium and combat rovers. Of course, vivarium for desert and food tiles. But I think I'll go for engineering. Just to see if there is any useful titanium. And the next production will be into agricultural development, so that we have four citizens in our capital. The first thing to note about worker is they can go and improve these specific tiles, but these two are in miasma, and the worker will take damage and is not able to remove the miasma yet. The fungus one will take a long time, and the grassland one will be fastest. However, the plantation sometimes gives fiber, like production, like on fiber. Sometimes food, like on fruit, fungus, and tubers. But I don't see any tubers nearby. Tubers get 2 additional food. Let's go and improve this food tile with fruit and some of the ancient alien remains. Biopsy these alien remains. With more samples like this, our colony could learn far more about alien anatomy than we do today. We should locate more. There are altogether 8 alien remains. 1 was already found. Explorers should go home to heal. We have developed a virtue, and I will go for homesteading. First things we want to do is not build a military, but build enough cities so that we can grow. There is a big bit of cinemas. Right now the plantation is quite productive and being worked. Unsurprisingly, this floodplain style is also very productive and has 2 food because it's a floodplains desert, and additionally 3 energy for the river. I might improve it with a farm or with a generator right now, and with a generator it would make 5 energy, which is very nice, but I'm going for a plantation first. As you can see, it may take longer, but it will clear the marsh as well. And constructing this plantation will give us 2 food because of the marsh clearing. Mandira has grown, and we can start either producing trade depots or colonists in 11 turns. That is nice time. Alright, this is the 4th opponent. This one is pretty far. We have one directly to the east, somewhat far, one over here in the southwest, and one pretty far in the southeast. The explorer will heal, and I will just click through the turns. The 5th opponent has landed directly west, and I have 277 energy. I might purchase an old earth relic, but another colonist would be the best thing to do. Perhaps another worker for our outposts and for our cities to grow. I will spare these energies. We are not great at culture so far, making only 1 from Mandira, from the headquarters, but we have already claimed 2 additional tiles. That is due to the Kavithan's trait, Doctrine of Oneness, as the culture and energy cost to acquire new plots is reduced by 30%. Our next research, since we have discovered engineering, might be defense grid so that we can build an optic on defense perimeter. But my focus is on and the photosystems for plantation. But organics will take 116 turns at 8 science from my cities, and that is too long. Let's go for genetics first. Discover our genome. Let's see if there is any titanium nearby. There is some, and I have found one in the snow over here. That's not a reason to build a city in the snow. Generally, snow tiles are quite unproductive, unless you go and try to terraform them into beautiful terrascapes. Station to charter, I will go with, say, Golden Bell Temple, and that is something I might consider making a trade route to. However, there are aliens here. We got ourselves a colonist, and we can purchase one more. And I will produce one more. We are going ham on colonization. The first colonist should go probably south here, so that it can use this fungus, this fiber, and all this copper. I'm not going far, I'm just staying in range. This place will be fine for settling the first city. We'll have access to food and production. And the plains are not the worst, but a bit more productive than grasslands. Alright, I forgot to purchase one more colonist, switch to the floodplains and make a generator here. Remember to either protect your colonist or keep it away from any aliens. Once they are angered by someone, they will attack civilian units with priority. Okay, the next colonist should go west, as this is pretty nice grassland place. Possible some other resources over there, but the grassland are perfect for growing. Notice that the grassland hills are generic hills, like plain hills, and give only one production. And our next virtue will go into colony initiative and get us another colonist. And this one, I think I'm going to north to these tundra tiles and try to build a city over here at this miasmatic place with forest plains. Okay, there is fruit, there is some shells, and this colonist should head north for all these resources and take the Xenomouse later. Alright, found an outpost here, and we get our first soldier. And this one will go north, and this colonist will go up onto this hill to get all of these basic resources. And our last competitor has arrived, and this one is in sea. Expeditions, I think crashed satellites are better than progenitor ruins, at least at the start. Let's settle this city as well. I think a city over here would be best. They will reach this copper, this titanium eventually, and we'll have some decent forested tiles. Remember, once we get a worker here, all these forests can be cut down and provide some production initially to whatever the city is building. Let's settle here. We met somebody, that is Lena Ebner. Where did we meet her? She has a gunboat over here. As for research, we got genetics, allows us to build city nursery and farmer labs, all health buildings. Our next research will go into organics for both the immortals eventually, but for the mass digester generator improvements biofactory, I will be able to build this in Asraya. It might be better though, because this is a pretty late, pretty high up technology, to go for ecology first. But I will do that later, as one of these expeditions might yield science. No, they gave me energy. That is also nice. Expedition, we got 80 production from in Mandira, and this colonist produced much faster. In that case, I'm going to ecology. And we have our 5th colonist, I believe, altogether. Not a lot of space to settle right now. We might go into this desert and settle a city over here. Instead, I might go to settle aquatic city. I might go south. Even though there are no special resources, I might utilize all these grasslands to grow my cities, and, well, the city would have terrible production unless I get this titanium. But first, I would like to keep my empire compact and go north. In that case, I will make a city over here that is 1, 2, 3 far away from Mandira. And the stations do not prevent me from building here because they have to be 2 tiles away. Building very fast, and that will be trade depot. There is Daoming Sokwa. We can also build an old earth relic very fast. The colonists will go north, but not over here because the milling aliens might destroy it. And Susan Fielding, nice. Looks like a women's club up here. Where's she? Yes, this Aqua is down here. This is Lena Ebner. Alright, there's one water-based civilization. Let me guess that will be Chungsu, and this, my guess, is Reginaldo of South Sudamerica. Alright, the aliens have milled around and we can safely build a city, an outpost over here. Trade depot, but a trade convoy would take 10 turns. That might be reasonable, but I'm not going to build a clinic right now. We are going to drop our health once these cities are up very significantly. I'm going to build a recycler. Okay, this worker is damaged. It should go to the city and heal, but it is not possible to set the worker to heal in a city. You can do it outside, but you cannot press H and heal the worker in the city. It can only do nothing or sleep. So if you want to heal him faster, which happens in cities, you have to simply press do nothing multiple times on multiple turns. And I have reached 150 diplomatic capital, which means I can get upgraded in my personality traits. Now, what would be best? If we look at the political ones, we can go expansionist and further reduce the city plot's cost. That is somewhat smaller than our innate personality trait. We might go military. We have seen Sokua has gone protective, or colonial, which means the city plots are cheaper to purchase with energy. That might just skyrocket and make the tiles really cheap, but we do not need that since we have our character trait. As for our domestic ones, we might go for developer just for the global health, but our cities right now will produce a lot of unhealth. I'm not going to battle that first. I don't even know. I think I will go for innovative. That's different each gameplay. Let's focus on science then. Saira has been founded. Our explorer can go and refill its expedition module. Our worker will heal for one more turn. And Saira's founded and has barely any production. The alien scarab is a weak one. Saira can grow because of this fungus, but doesn't have any additional production. That will change once we get these mines up and get these tiles up. First, we might go for the old earth relic to grow this city in any meaningful way, or for trade depot. Let's do old earth relic to get the tiles first. And since Mandira is improved, it might go. I might want to improve this fiber as well, as citizen might just go over here or send it to a different city like Saira or Asraya. Honestly, Asraya has good enough yield from these basic tiles, and this plantation gives one production. Here we go, Mandira has grown and is working on this fiber tile. Asraya was founded. It might also go for the old earth relic first, but since it has good tiles already and the next one is over here in the coral, it will go for trade depot first. Shouldn't be scouting with the soldiers so much, but I want to biopsy these alien remains and then return him to home. Let's see if there are any potential agreements that might be good. Well, party politics is fairly neutral. National land management production from strategic resources is nice, even though I don't have any yet. And the other ones are useless. The quest for trade depot asks me if I want 1 more production or 2 more energy. This time I will go for trade and 2 energy. Sabda was founded and there are no decent tiles nearby that would need to be claimed. Let's go for a trade depot. That is one of the few buildings that you cannot buy. Actually. Before, in some way before, you could also buy the trade depot, so you could really scale your empire with energy very early on and get insane yields just from buying the trade depots and trade convoys like I'm going to do now. I'm going to buy a trade convoy in Mandira. That one will have to start in Mandira, but can go into stations or other cities or outposts. There is ecology with its vivarium. You might want geophysics for geothermal resource and geothermal wells. They give us quite a bit of energy, but I think it is time for organics and later photosystems. It might be good for going for vivarium, as there is some desert. 1, 2, 3. I'm not counting the floodplains desert because these do not get any yields from vivarium actually. What I'm going for instead is the thorium reactor, as we want some energy, and after that I will start building some units. I might go for another colonist down south, but that can wait. Right now we are 13 negative health. That is also a reason why our other cities are not growing quite as fast. Let's just first improve Javed and make it a city a bit faster. And we got some artifacts. Let me check if we can get some nice perks. I never seen this battered hull repair suit. Oh, this is nice. Tessellation Foundry. I think this might be a wonder, as military units cost 30% less production. That is a very nice perk, but it looks like that is wonder to be built, and those tend to be pretty heavy on production. Yep, I do want this Tessellation Foundry. I get production in, I guess this is in my capital, energy, and a bit of science. Tessellation Foundry, a manufacturing plant model after the mysterious progenitor process of growing materials at the molecular level. Leveraging this technology allows scientists to create custom machine parts with an atomic level of precision. Yes, that is a wonder costing 650. It's a good perk, but I will have to build it much later in the game once we have some production like in Syra. Now we can also clear miasma from tiles because we have ecology. First things first, this worker will go improve side. Progenitor growings gave us 3 level in affinity. If I were to go towards harmony, the 3 level would only give me 3 points as well in supremacy. In order to not waste them, I'm going for purity, even though I'm not really going for purity gameplay. Enemy Scarab has attacked our outpost of Javed. That means these aliens are getting angry or anxious that I'm somewhere at their side. But Javed will turn into city in 1 turn, and we get a quest for recycler. We can get 1 food from recyclers or terpester worker speed. As we have a bigger empire, I prefer the worker speed. Food might be also acceptable, also nice, but I'm not sure about it. As for my improvements, in Syra I will build plantations first, mines second. Javed has been founded. We can shoot down some aliens and the city needs food. I think making a vivarium is the best way. Even though there is no desert terrain, the +2 food is nice. Okay, there is a wrecked colony lander. That will be probably 1 additional population. And the trade convoy, since Javed is not an outpost but a city, has finished its route. There is 1 station that is gone. I might want to go to Golden Bell Temple, but there are aliens over there. Right now, the trade routes cannot pass the miasma tiles. So that means Sabda is isolated, as I cannot simply reach it. For yields, Syra would have the least and I want Australia to grow first, or at least faster than Javed. There is a giant worm. I would rather not disturb it, so let's drag this marine home. But we can shoot the alien worm from Syra, which has finished the old Earth relic and will start claiming tiles around. And should as the second building go for the trade depot, it will give us some capital, a little bit of production to energy, that is nice, and of course the trade route. Now I have to be careful around the giant worm, as this one likes to eat workers. I will simply take it back to the city and shoot the worm down. Hopefully the worm will not be as angry enough to try to attack Saira. Quest for Old Earth Relic will give us one more culture or make them free of maintenance. I will go and leave them untouched. Old Earth Relics will become sacred places. Right, the siege worm is moving around. My next build should probably be a repair facility, and I will build some units afterwards. Of course, it is not the best idea to avoid producing military, as it will prevent any intrusion and allows me to fight back aliens. Opponents seem to be far away. I am not really on shore. These two cities are, but that is not very dangerous yet. And my capital is pretty safe inland. Okay, the expedition gave us one more population in our capital. We got an artifact, and Astraea finished the trade depot and can build a trade convoy in 9 turns, and I think that is pretty reasonable. And we got 60 energy, which means we do not have to hard build the trade convoy here, although we might. That is not as bad. And actually, I cannot produce a trade convoy once once I'm at full use of trade routes. If I were to buy one and build one in Australia, that would not be possible. There is another thing, and I will build it in Javed. I will build the recycler. The city is lackluster with its thunder tiles, and buying one tile would not do anything else. You see, it is even working this canyon tile just for the 2 production, because and the AI and the game's automatic reassignment knows that you are unhealthy and would grow only by 60% of the usual rate, and does not focus the city on food. Going into unhealth, beware of the automatic worker distribution, as it might just screw your growth plan over. And we got another virtue. We might go for the helping hands for tile improvements, and pioneer spirit for additional discount on culture for border expansion. A free worker, which might not seem like a lot, but early on this is a big help, as it can simply go on and improve tiles. It's virtually free worker. They are not great units later, but at first having one additional food is like 100% increase in growth. Yeah, I think I will get the worker unit first, then tile improvements, and then I might go either for knowledge or industry. The production towards buildings appeals to me. Okay, Mandira is geared out. It is even working this forest tile. This worker will start making road. With the advent of the aquatic gameplay, the land gameplay went back. I don't want to say a bit, because it went back a lot and was not very important. Much of the restrictions were lifted, and for example, coastal cities are insanely good because they can immediately access sea. They can also build the naval units, but landlocked units are quite limited. Mandira finished the repair facility, and I'm going to build some combat rovers. Road is finished. I wanted to get back into roads, as you are planting cities on the coast. You have no need for roads, because roads just cost you maintenance, and eventually when you connect cities to your capital, you can get some energy back but it might not just be enough to repay the road maintenance. But I'm going to build a road to Sabda first, then over here to Javed, and then over here to Saira. Roads are not as important as before. They just improve the movement of your units. They are not giving you any additional yields as such for being worked. That is also one of the reasons why they can be ignored. Okay, Sabda has produced a trade depot. However, it cannot reach any other city with a trade convoy. That is some bad news, but this miasma will be cleared. I hope it will be cleared soon. Instead, it is its own isolated city and can go somewhat independently. Let's have them build the old Earth relic and a trade route slot in Saira as well. Yep, let's build a trade convoy here. I think there is nothing more left on the north side, and this explorer will go south instead. We have a quest, the Beating Heart Society. That is a new quest added in the Rising Tide expansion. At least I haven't seen it before. Basically about a professional biologist, which is tampering with the dangerous foreign substance, and one side wants to apprehend him and the other to free him. In this playthrough, I'm not going to prevent him from exploring, so we are going to free the scientist because we are quite progressive here. We need to build one soldier unit in Mandira. I forgot about one thing, and that is diplomatic capital. We are earning 30 per turn, and that should be quite enough for adding new traits. Next, I will add a political trait that will go. We will go a bit of a role play side and go enlightened. Virtues cost 2% or up to 6% less culture for each active agreement initiated by me. We can have 5 active agreements, so this can scale from 2 up to 10 or from 6 up to 30% less culture. And our military trait will be efficient. Yes, it will be efficient, and it will be easier to build military units. We have a wonder for that, and this trait will grant us additional production. With that, we are finished with our personality traits. Old Earth Relic. Now it is time to grow out, and afterwards it will be probably Worker. We can establish a trade route. I cannot make one with Mandira as there is one already, but a Golden Bell Temple one will be. It goes over this water where I have seen a kraken, but I trust these waters are safe. Okay, now that makes Okwa an agreement. She has already 3, and I might want to get something in return. But no, there is nothing yet. Nothing good yet. Our capital's built. Combat rover next is Marine for the quest. The combat rovers are quick units, strong, but they cannot fortify, which makes them good for attacking actually, but not good as defending units. This is a bit interesting. She says Vitam. That would be Polish, not German. It's a nice touch that these sponsors are not fully nationalistic or just one representative of one nation, but instead, like Integer is, as per its description, a bit of an European Union representative, led by Germany. Okay, the trade unit was destroyed. That route was not safe. That is my bad. Javed finished the vivarium and might go for the trade depot now. I could also set the worker to make route, in this case a road, to a specific tile, but I want the manual control over that. Quest for vivarium. We are going for roleplay. We are going to allow the scientists to stay and get 1 additional science. Usually I would go for it. I have to choose whether I want to explore this derelict settlement or this sunken vehicle or even this wrecked colony lander. This place is gold. This place is really gold. There is titanium 5 here, 2 here, cinemas, resources. Our next settler will go down here and exploit all these resources. It looks like this bay is actually isolated from outside, and it might be a good idea to colonize it and use it to our advantage. It will be quite well protected, as this is one isthmus that might join to the outside ocean, but otherwise it is closed. It might be our pond, and it certainly looks like one. Okay, let's explore this sunken vehicle first. It's to build a laboratory. No, a recycler next. There goes one. Wonder Daoming has a special ability regarding wonders. That means she will be hogging them up as crazy. Yeah, it looks like this small isthmus is all that connects our inland sea to the outside. There is the quest for Beating Heart Society. They want us to build a dome improvement, which is out of the way. The dome is available at fabrication, which might be useful. Alloy Foundry is a good building. The dome gives 10 city hit points for the city. Although city hit points are not as important, this is a good defensive strategy. And it yields 2 culture, which is kind of rare, but costs 2 energy in maintenance. Right next, production. I've noticed Asraya was not growing for a while. Ah, yes, it was working different tiles and is probably lost the trade convoy here. That means what I build next in Asraya will be a worker. And our capital finished the marine and should build a trade convoy next. This trade convoy, however, will go from Asraya now. This marine will go to Asraya, as this is our most exposed city. And the trade convoy will not be exposed. It is exposed a bit, but not a lot. It will not bring any food, but the production is definitely worth it. Syra protects the trade convoy as well. And its next building should be the recycler for more production and increase from trade. The trade route from Syra will go to the Golden Belt Temple. Right, the mine is finished. The tile now produces 3 production, which is really nice, and 2 energy. 1 from the base from copper and 1 because it is improved by a mine. I can improve one of my traits because there are no agreements I would like to get. There is no point in increasing enlightened, as I will up the innovative. I get most of my science right now from population, and of course the colonists type. Having more cities is right now the best way to get more science simply from colonists. In Beyond Earth, each point of population is worth 1 science. It does not give any additional culture like in later game in Civilization 6. It only gives science by default. The road was cleared, Miasma was cleared, and Sabda, and I'm going to construct a road here. As you can see, these hills, while the flat hills only give 1 production, the forested ones also give one food. And that means the city of Sabda is growing somewhat. But if I were to deforest these and build a mine, I would lose the food instead of production. Virtue should go into helping hands, and we finished everything we needed in the prosperity right now. Of course, Pioneer Spirit is good settler clans if I'm going to settle any more cities, and I think I will definitely go that way. And Mind over Matter. And later, Hansel Idle is fine, and Eudaimonia is one of the best health-related perks. Nature's Bounty is also fine for production from basic resources, and Joy from Variety just gives 1 more health from each type of basic resource that is improved. In the base game, there were like 8, I believe, most basic resources. Here, there are some more in the water, so that might be more, but this health is global. Just add it. It is not calculated and not limited from the cities. which might be nice, but rarely do you get more than 7 from like from mind over matter. Joy from variety doesn't give much more. Mandira finished the trade convoy. How many trade routes do I get to have? One from Mandira, one from Sabda. As Sabda is now accessible, I might just do it. One more trade convoy that will go from Javed. I might now go for added blue, but this route will be plagued by aliens. No way. Even though the production is all I get, it is something. Okay, the aliens are somewhat angry. The trade route from Sabda will go to Mandira, to my capital as well. And this combat rover has to leave this place. I do not want to lose it to random aliens. And now Javed can support a trade route. That will be this one produced in Mandira. Alright, development of Saira should be finished for now. Start building a route over to Mandira in order to connect it. And afterwards I will improve this silica. Here, city connection established, and I will get 2 from city connections between my cities and my capital, and 1 and 2 are lost for road and megro maintenance. That is nothing. Like, I'm literally gained nothing from this. This worker will go over here to this Plains River and build a farm over there. Mandira finished the trade convoy and should build another combat rover so that we are not behind the AI so much. Our diplomatic capital says increase the science yield. And I could get this agreement from Suzanne Fielding. Public transportation, that might be cool. Movement speed on roads and meg rails. As I said, the roads are not very used in this in the expansion. If you are a land-based place, public transportation might be nice. The roads are speeding up your units, allowing them to travel faster, and mag rails make that almost instant. So public transportation is not very needed, but it's a nice agreement. Let's have that. No, thank you. No. Build a worker and should build a vivarium. This tile is desert, but it will not probably be used anytime soon. There is enough productive tiles. This fruit would give me 1 more food. This would give me 1 more production. And the shell, I believe, gives 1 more culture, or it already gives culture and improve chitin with a paddock. Javed finished the old earth relic and will go for a thorium reactor. That is good for like off cities that just they can produce energy and will be useful for anything that you might go and build. And so will Sabda make a thorium reactor. There is that mining, my favorite station, but it's really far from me. Sayara should build now something useful. That will be a laboratory. Our next focus will be on laboratories, but vivarium first in the capital. I'm going to lock this tile to be worked. As well, I can build a farm over here. It's also plains. The forest here is actually giving nothing. 1 more combat rover that should go into Javed to strengthen this city. And here we go, we have organics. We can build a mass digester for grower specialist slots and energy from thunder terrain. Biofactory, once we have level 4 in harmony. And 1 energy from generator improvements. Not to say that this improved our empire much, but it set us up for photosystems. That would be another 49 turns. Instead, I'm going for defense grid right now. Okay, this worker will go improve these shells next. That gives 1 more production from bed. Let me see, trade routes. These trade routes are not very good, but they give me some minimal yields. It might not be a good idea to invest into them. If you've seen my previous playthrough, the trade routes were absolutely insane there. Sayada finished the laboratory. We'll go for clinics next. Mandira will also go for a clinic here. I will probably send it down to keep an eye on the aliens here. And we have reached turn 100, which means this could be the end of the episode. Yes, that will be the end of the episode right here on turn 101. We have developed our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cities, and we will grow in this direction as well. Once we get the colony health in check, because right now we are getting minus 52% growth, so all growth is halved. What is the plan for the game? I'm not sure. I'm probably going to build some wonders and see what we can do in this new world. In the meantime, thank you all for watching and see you in the next episode, playing as Kavithan Protectorate.